This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 280.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology. Why, hello everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have a couple WordCamps and another conference. WordCamp Grand Rapids, Michigan, July 13th. It's coming up. It's going to be awesome. I was going to try to go. Actually, I still might try to go. It's like in a week. Yeah, I guess. We'll see. WordCamp Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, July 13th and 14th. And the JavaScript for WordPress conference is July 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it's free. If you go to javascriptforwp.com/conference, again, link in the show notes, you need to sign up. It is free. It's being hosted by Zach Gordon, a great educator and a friend as well. So check that out as well. All right, so that is it in the news. In the upcoming events. Moving on to in the news, a couple things here. First and foremost, Jocelyn Mozak is a friend. She's a speaker, WordPress developer, etc. She posted on Twitter last week that she is cancer-free. So I'm very happy to hear that. She was supposed to speak at WordCamp Raleigh, had to cancel because she was going through some procedures, but she is now cancer-free. So congratulations, and very happy to hear that. And I want to share that to the world, to the WordPress space. So awesome. Also in the news, Font Awesome 5.9 is now out. It's bringing it brings 421 new and updated icons, which is pretty kind of cool. I mean, I know a lot of people use Font Awesome. I do as well for many sites. It's over at fontawesome.com. I have no connection to them. Just want to let you know that if you're looking for new fonts and icons and whatnot. And lastly, in the news, I am caught up. Some people ask me how I did, but I did catch up to my books. My finances are up to date for the first 6 months, which is amazing. I'm very happy to say. I'm smiling right now thinking about it. The fact that it's done in 2019 for the first 6 months, I'm like, wow, I did my books for the same year, in the same year. Anyway, pretty cool. So now I can run some reports, see where things are going, do some better projections. Pretty cool. So there you have it. Hope yours are up to date as well for the first 6 months. I really do. Okay, moving on. Segment 2, meat and potatoes of this week's show. Ways to get buy-in to your idea. So recently, I was privy to a conversation for someone looking to take on the upkeep of a free plugin. They posted that they were looking to get support from developers from the community to contribute to the project, to maintain it, to add functionality to it, etc. And that's great. And then they also indicated that there might be a pro version down the line to be released. So when someone says pro in the WordPress space, plugin or theme, there is usually then a dollar amount attached because you get a free version. It's the pro, free, that whole philosophy. So that led to some debate back and forth and whatnot, and got me thinking on whether or not the initial person should be looking to get development done for free and perhaps promise a future reward to the people helping. It's much like there's a conversation that goes on a lot in the WordPress space in general, that it's all volunteer driven for the project. And that's fine. People donate their time. That's fantastic. And then you go, if you want to have your own agency or you're a plugin shop or you're a theme developer, you charge for what you want to do. Anyway, so that said, I wanted to give you 4 things to consider when trying to rally the troops on a project via direction, the goals, etc., to get buy-in on it, building the team behind it. So here's what I came up with for the 4 things you want to consider. And there's a financial relevance piece in this, so stay with me. First and foremost, start with why. Simon Sinek has the famous concept of the golden circle to inspire others. It's a way of lifting yourself out of what you want to do and how, and think about why you want to do it. So your why statement is that sentence that clearly expresses your unique contribution and impact. So if you're the project owner, what's the why behind the project? And be honest with yourself about this. And that way, express that to the community as a whole, what you're trying to do, short-term and long-term. Okay, so together, it helps filter this out, and you can make decisions easier. Okay, second thing here, show, but don't just tell the value. So show the value, don't just tell about the value. So donating the time to a great cause is fantastic. It's a fine aspiration, it's great. But if you know you're going to be thinking about that pro version to where you're going to be charging money for something, be honest with yourself and to the people involved from the get-go. I think you need to know this in your heart of hearts, what your plan is. And when I say show the value, I'm talking about paying people. I think when people promise this is good for your exposure, this is good for the community, that's fine. But if you know that you're going to then take something and modify it and make money off the backs of somebody else, and there's a fine line and slippery slope. I realize what I'm talking about here, but be honest with yourself and, maybe make the plan to raise funds and finance this and hire people to do that and help you take that project to the next level if that's what you want to do. Okay. Number 3. Solicit feedback early and often. Now, it's easy to get buy-in and trust when you're open to it. Once you have the buy-in and have assembled the team, ask for their input. Ask for the team to help you because they may bring up points that you never thought of. And it's really simple to just think you have the only, the right vision, the right answer here. And you may not. There's a good chance you don't. I've had many of ideas in my past, many years here, and I've been shot down many a time by a lot of friends, and I didn't want to hear it. I was too stubborn to hear what they were saying. Luckily, I listen to people now, so I just don't tell everybody my ideas. But no, I honestly will then just table the idea and let it percolate a little bit longer. Maybe it's the wrong version of what I'm trying to do. And that leads to number 4, prepare to compromise. Don't fall in love with your idea. If others hate it, then maybe brainstorm with them, especially if it's a volunteer team, come up with new options to accomplish the same thing. You may end up working with a better solution, much more workable, that's not completely yours, but still gets the same outcome. Okay. So again, start with your why. Know what you're doing and what you're going to do it for, why you're doing it. Don't just show the value. Don't just tell the value, show it, meaning pay people. Okay. Just kind of go down that route. If you're going to go commercial, if you know you're going to go take something commercial, be prepared to invest money in people as well. It goes a long ways, I believe. Solicit feedback early and often, and prepare to compromise. Your idea and your way of doing things may not be the best, but if you are leading a project in this form, try to build a community, kind of get a movement moving forward, you have to prepare to compromise. Okay, so there you have it. Those are a couple things there. There's a lot more, obviously, to rally the troops, but I think those will kind of cover the broad brushstrokes. All right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This one's interesting. It's a function in the Codex. It is. I'm going to describe it this way. It's the fatal error handler piece of the new version of WordPress, a version 5.2, I believe. It emails the admin on the site when there is a fatal error. The problem is, it's been emailing people, the admins of the site might be the owner versus the admin. So the owner could be my client versus me, and it freaks people out. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet, but it's happened to a handful of my friends and colleagues. So there's a function now. You can actually disable the fatal error in WP config. You can also alternatively filter it how to modify the return value, meaning send the email to somebody else. So I'll put a link in the show notes of how that's done to go back to the Codex. But the function of Codex, WP_fatal, yada, yada. It's WP config stuff. But check that out. I think it's a good tip, and that was sent in. I got that. I was talking to Jamie about that, so check that out. All right, that is it this week. If you have any questions, go ahead and send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe functionality of the website. You can support the show on Patreon. You can sponsor the show, form on the website. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.